Hello Summoners and welcome to another ProGuides video. Today we'll be talking about some upcoming VFX changes on 10.18 to some of the champs who, while they may have solid kits for today's League of Legends, look like they belong in the past. We'll be looking at exactly what's being targeted to fix those issues. But before we get started, today's question of the day is, what champs do you think need some updated voice lines? We often see VFX and ability icon upgrades, but these days new champs have dozens and dozens of voice lines and interactions, while older champs, like Amumu, have so little you can count them on your fingers. And one last thing, be sure to visit us at ProGuides.com. We have the best roster of coaches, top-tier live classes from instructors like Mike Young and Zyrene, and courses covering a variety of roles and champs for your favorite pro players like Double Lift. Our goal is to make sure you improve your skills and reach your goals before the end of the season. Now, let's talk about these upcoming updates. So everyone knows what a VGU is. A champion is outdated and gets a sort of rebirth, transforming them into what is essentially a brand new champ. But sometimes a champion's abilities themselves are fine, but just need to be brought up to modern standards. This is a two-pronged effort to both bring them up in terms of visual satisfaction, aka just looking good, while also ensuring there is gameplay clarity so you aren't left wondering how you died due to not even realizing what spells were hitting you. We've all been hit by a Nautilus Q that looked like it was at least halfway across the screen, and even Riot knows it was more than a little off. In their recent post, it was announced that their current targets are Malzahar, Nocturne, Viktor, and Ignite. Starting with Malzahar, aside from the general ideas of readability and modern effects, they want to specifically bring up his spell effects ability to reflect the modern concept of the Void, as opposed to the outdated space-esque theme. We'll start things off by looking at the basic kit of his classic skin. The most impactful changes on him will be his passive shield and his E. The passive shield will be made brighter so that it stands out better, and being that this ability blocks 99% of incoming damage, you definitely want to know when it's up. His E will also show having a beam showing which target it's jumping to, so you can more easily follow its path through a minion wave or in a chaotic team fight, helping Mal's players track where they need to reapply the DOT, and giving enemies the chance to move away and dodge it jumping to them. Q is getting an entire new effect, with his W and R getting minor touch-ups as well, mostly to just bring them up to the aforementioned modern Void theme. His Snow Day, Battle Boss, Hextech, and Worldbreaker skins have all been given a similar treatment with their respective themes in mind. Specifically, Snow Day and Hextech have had more of their respective themes effects added into their ults to deepen the theme overall. Next up, Nocturne. Overall, his original kit had utilized all colors of the rainbow, with a myriad of colors flashing in each fight. His new effects are centered around red and blue colors, and of course, shadowy effects. As far as visibility goes, the offenders here were his Q and his passive. His Q's claw was just too difficult to track in a chaotic fight, and being unable to dodge it is pretty much doomed for any immobile squishy target, so it was given a brighter, more animated form so it pops on the screen. His passive has been given a circular effect that very clearly shows the area he is cleaving in. Instead of his hands glowing, his weapons themselves now glow a bright red, also making it very clear when he has the passive available. W's spell shield now has a unique shadowy look to it, distinguishing it from the other spell shields existing in the game. Before, if Nocturne used E on a target, it pretty much looked the same from start of the cast until the fear actually went off, but this update gives a clear indicator of the fear building up over time via a spell effect above the head of its target. The bright tether now also clearly shows who's being targeted, since before, much like his Q's claw, this could easily have been unseen in a chaotic teamfight. Similar to his W, his ult's trail has been updated from an out-of-place orange beam to a shadowy, billowing trail, much more in line with his theme. His dash has also been changed from an awkward, stiff flight to him being a blurred, almost cloud-like figure, playing more to his nightmarish theme. Upon slamming into his target, they are hit with a flashing X. Both his Frozen Terror and Haunting skins have received the same type of upgrades, but with their respective winter and spooky themes in mind. Eternum Nocturne also received the above changes, but with some additional love since it's a legendary skin. Like the other skins, passive is indicated now by glowing blades, but with the addition of a high 10 lens flare to match his mechanical alien theme. In its previous form, Eternum Nox Q doesn't actually shoot out a claw, it shoots a red orb of energy. In this updated rendition, the same claw in his other skins has been added for some clarity. Upon activating the first cast of his ult, Nock is now surrounded by a shadowing red tornado, and his dash and trail have received the same update as his classic skin. The impact now has an almost EMP-like explosion to show the devastating hit. The last of the champs getting a full VFX overhaul is Viktor. For his classic skin only, his autos have been given a new trail, and his Q's shield and beam have been updated to give off more of a Hextech-ish feel. The next few changes apply to both Classic Viktor and his creator skin. Anyone that has laned against him can tell you that his E is a pretty frustrating ability to deal with. Not only is it hard to dodge to begin with, but the visual was misleading, with the hitbox actually being quite a bit bigger than indicated. So updating that was the primary focus of this VFX change, with the visual now much more closely matching the area it actually hits. W's outer edge is a bit more clear, so no more surprise stuns when you think you're out. Lastly, ult has been given an initial impact effect to separate the burst damage done on cast from the tick damage from the persisting effect. Deathsworn Viktor didn't need any fully new VFX, but did get an increase to the size of its E effect for the same reasons above. Last on the post for these changes, Ignite is getting a brand new visual effect, with each tick of damage also causing a flare of fire on the target to clearly indicate when damage is actually happening. Related to the previous announcement, a rioter later tweeted that Tryndamere's ult would be getting an added effect for clarity. He will now brightly flash at the start and end of his ult to communicate exactly when the effect begins and ends. While it doesn't change the effect itself, this has been long overdue and is still a nerf, giving players more clear windows of when to run and when to fight the temporarily unkillable Barbarian King. Be sure to check out all of these changes on the PBE once they're on there, and give Riot some feedback on what you think of the changes. They make these kind of changes for us, the players, and rely on our opinions to land on the right target. And with that, we are done recapping this VFX update. Remember to let us know which champ or champs need some updated voice lines in the comments below. We really do love seeing what you all have to say. Can't wait to see you guys back in our next video, but for now, good luck on the Rift, and wash those hands.